Hey, dear members of the Soul Stories family. Today we bring you a tender and unforgettable romantic love story, so let's dive right in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a tale that touches your heart. A light drizzle swept across the streets of New York, casting a soft haze over the skyline. The Whitmore Group headquarters rose tall in Manhattan's core, its glass and steel exterior shining with quiet power. The fashion giant's emblem shimmered at the entrance, a beacon of luxury in the dim rain. Umbrellas rushed by, the hum of traffic blending with the rhythmic patter. Through the crowd, Ella Moore stepped off the number 7 bus, clutching a faded umbrella and the tiny fingers of her 6-year-old daughter, Mia. Ella, 28, wore a modest office outfit, a thrifted white blouse and black pencil skirt, carefully maintained like heirlooms of hope. Her worn heels echoed on the wet sidewalk, but her brown eyes gleamed with fiery resolve. Inside her bag was a portfolio of hand-drawn designs, crafted during sleepless nights after Mia had gone to bed. This wasn't just an interview. It was her last shot to rewrite their lives, to give Mia a childhood beyond the cramped Brooklyn flat and dinners of noodles and boiled vegetables. "Mom, this place is huge," Mia whispered, awe lighting her green eyes like emeralds. Her golden curls bounced as she spun to take in the massive building. Her blue dress, patched but spotless, danced in the breeze. Ella smiled, smoothing Mia's hair, concealing the fear pressing on her chest. "Remember, sit still and don't wander," she murmured gently. Mia nodded, her grin shining like sun through storm clouds. "I'll be good, Mom." Inside the Whitmore Group's lobby, luxury unfolded like a dream. Polished marble floors reflecting crystal chandeliers, abstract art lining the walls, and the faint scent of designer perfume in the air. Ella felt small, like a sparrow inside an eagle's den. She led Mia to a waiting area with black leather chairs and a table stacked with glossy fashion magazines. "I'm going to my interview. Read your book," she said, passing Mia a battered picture book, hoping she'd stay put. Mia nodded, but her curious gaze already wandered like a tiny explorer. Ella opened her portfolio, quietly rehearsing answers. Once a standout Yale design student with dreams of runways and names in lights, her world had crumbled 7 years ago. Now she only wanted stability, new shoes for Mia, an unbroken backpack, and a life not ruled by survival. She inhaled deeply, forcing away the memory of the man who once promised her everything, only to vanish without goodbye. Mia, too restless to sit still, slipped from her seat. Her small shoes tapped quietly across the floor. A gleaming glass elevator caught her attention. She pressed the button, and when the doors opened with a soft ding, she stepped inside unnoticed, clutching her picture book. It whisked her to the top floor, the executive level, where even seasoned staff rarely tread. In his sleek office, Liam Whitmore stood at the window, gazing over the misty city. His sharp navy suit was pristine, his dark hair perfectly styled, and his icy blue eyes like cut steel. At 32, he was the power behind the Whitmore Group's global empire. But beneath his cold exterior lay a heart that had once loved fiercely. He tried to bury the memory of a girl who once meant everything. Yet sometimes a song or a sketch would break the surface, and it would sting all over again. Phone to ear, Liam's voice was cold as he addressed a partner in Paris. "I need the report by Friday. No exceptions." He turned to sit, but froze. Tiny footsteps echoed. He looked up, and the world shifted. A little girl, no more than 6, stood in the room. Curly blonde hair, a simple blue dress, green eyes. His green eyes. She clutched a picture book, her face alight with wonder. Liam's pulse roared in his ears. The call forgotten, the world narrowed to her. "Who are you?" he asked, unsure if his eyes betrayed him. How long had it been since a face shook him like this? She looked like a memory. His smile, his eyes, the tilt of her head. She beamed without fear. "I'm Mia. Who are you? This office is so cool." She wandered forward, fingers gliding across the polished desk like it was treasure. "Do you have books? I love books. With pictures." Liam stood abruptly, stunned. Before he could speak, the door burst open. "Mia!" a voice gasped, Elena rushed in, brown eyes wide, breath catching. She stopped cold. Her gaze met Liam's. Time fractured. The man standing before her, same hair, same piercing stare, same overwhelming presence, was Liam Whitmore. The man who once knelt under stars and vowed her the world. The man who vanished 7 years ago, leaving her heart and future in ruins. Her instincts kicked in. She knelt, pulling Mia close. "I'm so sorry," she said, voice trembling yet composed. "She didn't mean to. I'll take her out." But Liam wasn't listening to apologies. His eyes locked onto Elena, still glowing with that quiet fire, though hardship had etched fine lines around them. Her hair was tied back now, no longer loose and wind-kissed like at Yale. Then he looked at Mia, those unmistakable eyes. A wild thought bloomed, impossible to ignore. "Elena?" he said, voice taut like a blade. She flinched but didn't meet his eyes. Her hands tightened on Mia's shoulders. "What are you doing here?" She exhaled, steadying herself. "I'm here for a design interview," she replied, deliberately calm. "I didn't know you worked here." She stressed the word, making it clear. This wasn't planned. She hadn't come seeking him. Liam stepped closer, shrinking the space between them. His gaze flicked between Mia and Elena. "This girl," he paused, breath catching, the question too heavy. "Is she your daughter?" Elena stiffened, protective. "Yes," she answered shortly, revealing nothing more. But Liam saw the truth, the same smile, the same vivid eyes. A chill gripped him. Oblivious, Mia looked up at Liam with a sunny grin. "Do you like to draw? My mom draws so good. I want to be like her." She held up her picture book like it was a prize. Elena gently pulled her back. "Mia, that's enough. We need to go." Her voice firmer now. She faced Liam, eyes steady despite her pounding heart. "Sorry for the disturbance. We'll head to the lobby." But Liam stepped forward, blocking the exit like a steel wall. His voice was low but urgent. "Wait, how old is she?" Elena stopped cold. The words sliced through her. She didn't want to answer, didn't want to unlock the door she'd sealed shut. But Liam's gaze pinned her. "6, she said, each syllable a weight, her eyes wary, ready for battle. The floor vanished beneath Liam. 6. That meant 7 years ago. Yale. Elena. His mind reeled. "Elena," he whispered, filled with gravity. "We need to talk. Now." She clutched Mia tighter, her only shield from the storm swelling around her. "I have an interview," she said, steady though her hands trembled. "If you want to talk, it'll be after." Liam studied her, then nodded slowly, fighting the chaos inside him. "Fine. After the interview. But you're not leaving until we talk." Elena said nothing. She turned, took Mia's hand and walked away. The door closed softly behind them, leaving Liam in a room that no longer felt the same. The rain kept falling, but something had broken open. A truth long buried was clawing to the surface, and this time, nothing would hold it back. 7 years earlier, Yale's campus glowed in the autumn light. Rows of red gold maples lined cobbled paths, leaves tumbling over students' laughter and the chimes of Harkness Tower. The scent of fresh coffee floated from nearby cafes. Sunlight filtered through stained glass windows of centuries-old halls, filling the air with a sense of wonder and limitless dreams. Among the crowd walked Elena Moore, 21, with a heavy backpack slung over one shoulder. Her brown eyes sparkled like sunlight on fall leaves. Her long hair flowed freely, and her smile, warm and radiant, masked her modest beginnings. A scholarship student studying fashion design, she knew she didn't quite belong to this world of privilege. But she believed talent could carve her place. Raised in a small New Haven apartment by her mother, Clara, a janitor, Elena spent childhood nights sketching by a flickering kitchen light. Gowns, suits, dreams in pencil and ink. Yale was her golden ticket, and she intended to make every second count. The corner of the lobby. Mia nodded, her curls bouncing, and plopped down with her picture book, humming a tune only she knew. Elena turned back to Liam, her spine straightening like a thread pulled taut. They walked a few steps away, just far enough for their voices to drop without ears catching. "I wrote you," Elena said first, her voice steady, though her heart thudded wildly. I waited. I searched. I begged your family. Liam's jaw clenched. I never got a letter. Not a call. Not a message. You disappeared, Elena. You let me go. His words were like slaps. Elena stared at him, rain still glistening on her coat. I didn't let you go. Your mother erased me. I stood at your gate in the rain. I wrote you. Pages. She burned them. She burned me out of your life. Liam looked stunned. He blinked, then frowned, as if the truth cracked a shield he hadn't realized he'd built. I didn't know. She tore you away from me, Elena whispered, and when the calls stopped, I still clung to hope. But then, there was Mia. Liam's eyes drifted again to the child with curls and green eyes. She's mine, isn't she? His voice broke on the edge of awe and betrayal. Elena nodded slowly. Yes, she's yours. Silence stretched. The weight of years, of choices of lives diverged filled the air. Then Liam stepped back, ran a hand through his dark hair, and laughed, softly, bitterly. I missed everything. Her first word, her first step. I didn't want you to, Elena said, her voice cracking. I just didn't have a choice. Liam's eyes glistened now, but no tears fell. He looked at Mia again, who was now drawing stars in her book with a red crayon, and whispered, I want to know her. I want to know you again. Elena looked up at him, guarded but not cold. Then you'll have to earn it, not just with money or apologies, with truth, with time, with her. Their eyes locked, not as strangers, not yet as lovers again, but as two people torn by fate, stitched together by a child. Then I will, Liam said quietly, because I've already lost too much. Elena didn't speak. She simply turned, walked to Mia, and took her hand. Come on, sweetheart. As they exited the Whitmore building, the rain had stopped. Only mist lingered, and somewhere, faintly, sunlight peeked through the clouds. Her focus on the sketch in her hand, pretending not to feel the tug in her chest. But it was becoming harder to ignore. Those quiet moments, the way he knelt to tie Mia's shoelace, the way his fingers brushed hers when handing her a cup of coffee, as if asking silently for something deeper than forgiveness. Then came the rainy Thursday. Elena had just finished fitting a dress on a mannequin when Liam appeared at the studio door, drenched, his hair dripping and shirt clinging to his chest. The storm outside mirrored the storm in her heart. I know you don't want this, he said, not caring about the water pooling at his feet, but I need to say it. Elena crossed her arms, standing rigid beside the sewing machine. Then say it, Liam. He stepped closer, raindrops trailing down his cheekbones. I was wrong, not just about disappearing, but about everything. You were right. I wasn't there. I wasn't a father. I wasn't even a friend. But I want to be now, and not just to Mia. Her heart skipped. I still love you, he said quietly, voice trembling. I never stopped, and I know I don't deserve a second chance. But I'll wait. I'll earn it. One day at a time, one moment at a time, however long it takes. Silence stretched between them, heavy with the weight of everything unsaid. Elena looked down, her voice no louder than a whisper. Don't make promises if you're going to leave again. I'm not leaving, Liam said, reaching into his soaked coat and pulling out a small, worn notebook. He handed it to her. Inside were pages of sketches, some rough, some refined, but all drawn by Liam. Dresses, just like hers. Designs he'd scribbled over the years, thinking of her. Her fingers trembled as she turned the pages. I kept drawing you, he murmured, even when I didn't know where you were. I guess part of me always hoped we'd find our way back. Tears welled in Elena's eyes unbidden. She closed the book gently, holding it like a fragile memory. Mia's laughter rang from the hallway, chasing away the silence. I'm not asking for everything now, Liam said. Just let me stay close. Let me be here. For her. For you. Elena looked up, tears streaking her cheeks, but a soft smile forming at the corners of her lips. She didn't answer with words, just a slow, careful nod. And maybe, just maybe, it was the beginning of a story not broken by the past, but rewritten by love, one day at a time. Her tone remained professional. Thanks, but I'm just doing my job. One evening, Liam asked to join Elena and Mia for dinner at their apartment. Elena reluctantly agreed, swayed by Mia's excitement. The small Brooklyn apartment, with its yellowing white walls and worn furniture, was a stark contrast to Liam's Manhattan penthouse. Yet when he stepped inside, he showed no discomfort. He shed his coat, rolled up his sleeves, and helped Elena prepare dinner. A simple spaghetti with homemade tomato sauce. In the cramped kitchen, they worked side by side. Mia's laughter rang from the living room as she drew. Liam chopped onions, his eyes tearing up, making Elena laugh. "Not used to this, are you?" she teased, letting slip a genuine smile for the first time. Liam shrugged, a rare smile breaking through. "I learn fast." After dinner, they washed dishes. Their hands brushed under the warm water. Elena flinched, her heart racing, but didn't pull away immediately. Liam looked at her, his gaze deep, as if wanting to say something, but he only smiled and kept washing. That brief moment was like a spark in the dark. Elena felt his warmth, the sincerity she tried to deny, but she quickly grounded herself, reminding herself that Liam belonged to a world that had once shattered her. Liam, meanwhile, felt a shift within. In that small apartment, with Mia's laughter and Elena's presence, he found a kind of peace he'd never known. Lavish parties and million-dollar deals had never brought this feeling. Still, he hesitated. His family, their expectations, loomed like a shadow. Choosing Elena and Mia meant facing a battle he'd already lost once. In the days that followed, their closeness grew. Liam took Mia to the library, reading to her in his deep, warm voice, making her giggle. He helped Elena fix a broken lamp in her apartment, fumbling just enough to make her laugh. Each moment with them helped Liam rediscover a part of himself, the man who once dreamed of love, not power. Elena wrestled with her emotions. She saw how Liam played with Mia, patiently answering her endless questions. Her heart softened, but she also saw the luxury cars picking him up after work, the calls from Paris or Milan, and she wondered if he truly belonged with them. "Why doesn't Daddy live with us?" Mia asked once, eating ice cream in Central Park. The question silenced them. Their eyes met, filled with unspoken answers. That night, after Mia begged for a bedtime story, Elena stood at the bedroom door, watching Liam tuck their daughter in. Mia slept soundly, clutching her picture book, a smile lingering on her lips. Liam stood. His eyes met Elena's, and in that moment, no words were needed. They understood each other. Elena felt her heart, scarred and guarded, slowly opening. She didn't know if she could trust Liam again, but for the first time, she wanted to try. He stepped out, closing the door softly behind him. "She's really special," he said, his voice low, his eyes still on the closed door. Elena nodded, a faint smile. "She's everything to me." They stood in the narrow hallway, the space between them thick with unspoken words. Liam wanted to say it. He didn't just want to be Mia's father. He wanted to be part of Elena's life too. But he knew trust had to be earned. Elena watched him leave. The streetlight outside cast shadows on his back. She closed the door, leaned against the wall, her hand over her pounding heart. She was scared, but for the first time in years, she hoped. The Whitmore Group headquarters gleamed under the late autumn sky. In the conference room on the top floor, the air was tense, like the stillness before a storm. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Manhattan's skyline. The polished ebony table and black leather chairs exuded power. Elena Moore, in a simple white blouse and black pencil skirt, stood at the head of the table, clutching a portfolio of sketches. She presented her vision for the spring collection, her voice clear, her brown eyes alight with passion. Designers and directors nodded, captivated by her emotive, minimalist designs. Then the door swung open. Evelyn Whitmore entered like a cold gust, followed by Charles Whitmore. Evelyn, silver hair impeccably styled, a pearl-colored Chanel dress, radiated the chill of high society. Charles, in an expensive gray suit, carried the quiet menace of a man who never lost. Their arrival silenced the room. Elena froze. She recognized them instantly, the same faces that once looked at her like a stain. Her heart pounded, but she stood tall. "Go on, Miss Moore," Evelyn said smoothly, her voice like ice wrapped in velvet. She sat at the center of the table. I'd like to hear what someone like you can bring to our family's company. Elena steadied her voice. I was presenting the spring collection. Enough, Evelyn cut her off, raising a hand. She smiled coldly. I'm not here for your sketches. I'm here for something personal. She looked to Charles, who remained silent. We've heard you have a child, a girl named Mia, and you dare claim she's Liam's? Gasps echoed softly. Elena's colleagues exchanged glances. But Elena met Evelyn's gaze, unflinching. Mia is my daughter, she said, voice calm but resolute. And yes, she's Liam's. I'm not claiming anything. It's the truth. Evelyn laughed, sharp and scornful. You think we're naive enough to believe a gold digger like you didn't trap my son? She stepped closer. Her voice dropped to a venomous hiss. That girl is a mistake. You've used her to cling to Liam, to worm your way into our family. But I won't let you succeed. The words hit Elena like a slap, but she didn't flinch. Think what you want, she replied, her voice low and steady. But Mia isn't a mistake. She's the most precious thing in my life. Charles finally spoke. We're not here to argue. Leave this company and my son's life. We'll pay you enough for you and the child to live comfortably. But disappear. Elena gave a faint, joyless smile. I don't need your money. I never have. She turned to her stunned colleagues. Sorry for the interruption. I'll return later. She gathered her sketches and walked out, head high. Though her heart ached, the door burst open again. Liam. His eyes blazed with fury. His assistant had told him everything. Liam, Evelyn began, her tone honeyed. You don't need to be here. Handling this, Liam snapped, stepping between Elena and his parents. You call my daughter a mistake? You insult her mother? You think you can control my life? Elena's life? Mia's life? Evelyn's mouth opened, but no words came. 7 years ago, Liam continued, voice trembling. You ruined everything. You tore Elena from me. You kept me from knowing my daughter. And now you want to do it again? He turned to Elena, his voice gentler. She's the mother of my child. I choose her. If that means fighting you, I will. Elena's heart trembled. She'd never seen him like this. But fear surged too. 7 years ago, his promises hadn't been enough. Without a word, she left. She returned to her desk, pulled out a sheet of paper, and wrote, Liam, I don't want Mia to grow up in a world that hates her. I can't stay where she's seen as a burden, a mistake. Thank you for standing up for me, but I have to protect her, as I always have. Don't look for us. Elena. She folded the letter, placed it on his desk, packed her things, and walked out into the drizzle. Her heart was breaking, but her resolve was not. Hours later, Liam found the letter. Don't look for us, she had written. But he knew he would. He had to. That scene is breathtakingly emotional, cinematic, and full of rich depth. You've captured Liam's transformation beautifully, from a man of status to someone stripped bare in the rain, desperate and raw, holding onto a child's drawing as his compass. The imagery of the rain, the empty apartment, the cold silence, and Mia's innocent joy paired with Elena's guarded strength is powerful storytelling. Your prose balances heartbreak and hope with a poetic rhythm that holds readers tightly. Here are a few suggestions to elevate it further without changing your tone or pacing. Refined excerpt, light edit for clarity, punctuation, and flow. Gone. Again. Clutching the letter, Liam ran out of the building, heedless of the worsening rain. He drove to Elena's Brooklyn apartment, the downpour blurring the windshield, his heart pounding as if it might burst. He knocked again and again, called her name, but no answer came. The door was locked, and through the rain-drenched window, he saw only silence. No more of Mia's laughter. No warm light from the kitchen. No sign of the family he just realized he couldn't live without. He stood in the freezing rain, water soaking through his expensive suit, his eyes hollow. Elena and Mia were gone, and this time he had no idea how to find them. The letter, soaked and smudged, was still clutched in his hand, but Elena's words were etched deeper than ink. I don't want Mia to grow up in a world that hates her. Don't look for us. But how could he not? He'd lost Elena once. Now he knew Mia, knew her smile, her laugh, her drawings. He couldn't lose her too. Yet standing there, rain lashing his skin, he felt powerless, as if the world had turned its back on him. And then, a sliver of hope. An older woman, Rosa, stepped out from a nearby store, umbrella half shielding her face. "Looking for Elena?" she asked, voice gentle, eyes cautious. Liam nodded, desperate. Rosa sighed. "She and Mia left this morning, said they were going to her mother's. Someplace quiet, a town called Willow Creek." Liam's breath caught. "Do you know where?" "I'm not sure exactly, but she said her mother lives there." Clara Moore Rosa studied him for a long moment. "They've been hurt enough. Don't go after them unless you mean to heal, not hurt." "I swear," Liam whispered, "I just want to make things right." This is a beautiful, heartfelt conclusion to a deeply emotional and redemptive love story. The writing captures the raw vulnerability of Liam's plea, the guarded strength of Elena's hesitation, and the innocent, healing light that Mia brings to both. The pacing flows naturally from the rain-drenched reunion to the warm, golden light of a small-town wedding and a quiet family night, showing how love, when chosen every day, can heal even the most fractured pasts. A few highlights that really elevate the piece. Liam's transformation feels genuine, not just told, but shown in the small, repeated acts of love and humility. Elena's journey from fear to hope is beautifully paced. Her hesitation makes her eventual acceptance deeply earned. Mia's presence is the emotional glue. Her innocence and joy bring levity and soul to the entire arc. The symbolism of rain, drawings, and firelight adds depth, each representing emotional cleansing, hope, and warmth. To elevate it even more, you could consider breaking the text into paragraph form for clarity and emotional rhythm. The long block makes it harder to appreciate the nuances and shifts in tone, polishing dialogue, punctuation, and capitalization, which will make the reading experience smoother and the emotions clearer. Expanding tiny visual moments, like Mia handing over the rings or Liam helping Elena with her sewing machine, to build intimacy further.